Hello everyone and welcome to another Golden Age Stories stream. Today we are playing Mage the Ascension Technogate 1999. Set in the year 1999, our game is focused on the Technocracy construct in Madison, Wisconsin called Technogate. That uses an encapsulated black hole to travel space. Our heroes are Technogate Team 42, a newer team comprised of Phaedra, Tycho, Robert, and Malakai. I'm your storyteller, Frozen Fallout, and let's get started with some introductions. Phaedra, tell us a little bit about your character and what she looks like.
Phaedra Brennan is, she's a black female, around 27 years old. She grew up in Las Vegas. She hunted down a person all the way up here to Wisconsin by the name of Muddin. Murdered her mother. That's actually how she stumbled across this group of individuals. She is a progenitor, and she usually wears like white blouse and black slacks. Your basic attire.
Cool. And Tycho, tell us a little about your character and what he looks like.
Tycho is a born and bred technocrat in the Void Engineers. He grew up at the Construct here in Madison. His mother is currently in charge of the R&D department, and his father was the legendary adventurer Buck Samsonite, who disappeared when Tycho was just 5 years old in 1980. He is a 6-foot-ish, lanky white man who prefers retro-futuristic clothing, so lots of metallics and mylars and old. And he carries his father's ray gun belt. And for a while before coming back to Technogate, he was running around with werewolves in another dimension, the Umbra.
Awesome, thank you. And Robert, tell us a little bit about your character and what he looks like.
Robert Kell is a pretty unassuming, late 20s, just kind of clean-cut guy. Average build, average height, just white guy. Average hair, average everything. He always wearing a suit, tie, always carrying his briefcase around. Just kind of wouldn't really notice him in a crowd. He was kind of at the edge of all of the Technogate type stuff and got pulled in and kind of jumped right into the deep end with the Technogate group, and he's just kind of trying to keep up right now and having a hell of a ride.
Awesome, thank you. And Malakai, tell us a little bit about your character and what he looks like.
Malakai is late 20s, 6 foot tall, with scruffy hair, scruffy beard. Grew up in a military family. Was very straight-laced. Made some friends, progressed, and got noticed by the Technocracy. Made some friends with some reality deviants, which ended up being a problem. After that, that's when he went all scruffy. He was assigned to TG-42 to provide protection for the civilians, and so far he's enjoying the change of pace.
Awesome, thank you so much, and thank you all so much for playing in this game with me and broadcasting live with me over Twitch. It's been a lot of fun. I look forward to continuing doing some more. So we just want to make also a little comment here on lexicon. We're going to try as best as we can to try and switch over a little bit more to a little bit more technobabble talk, rather than using things like realm, I'll use planet or dimension. Instead of Umbra, I'll use space. Instead of spirit, I'll use alien. Now, some of our characters do have a little bit of a background. in the concepts of what a spirit is and stuff like that, just like Samantha Carter understands more of the technobabble talk, you know, in Stargate, comparatively to the major or the colonel or whatever. But in any case, so we're just gonna try and do our best on it. That's not necessarily something we're gonna hold to really well. The main thing is for me is that I'm gonna be trying to talk in that kind of lingo. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into the game here. So our heroes have been investigating a realm located in deep space called Altered Earth. This replica of Earth was created after the bombs were dropped in August 6th, 1945. At first, this planet was doomed to play out the Armageddon scenario that we all thought was going to happen. However, they were saved by a person called Adam Levin, a virtual adept who then became the ruler of this realm, or of this planet. Technogate 42 learned of this realm, or of this planet, after receiving a distress call from Buck Samsonite, father of Tycho and one of the original members of the first Technogate team. They arrived at the planet using one of the newest starships Technogate had completed, only to find that the planet was encapsulated in a force field and none were allowed in or out. This force field was powered by 6 powerful nodes scattered across Earth, the near space, the Tempest, mid space, high space, and deep space. All 6 of these nodes must be destroyed in order to bring down the barrier that shields this planet and save Buck Samsonite, who has been missing in action since he left on a top secret mission that only Control, the ruling entity of the Technocracy, knows the details of. We find our heroes being briefed on their next mission, having been woken from their sleep in the middle of the night by General Bridges. He explains to them, we have located one of the 6 nodes of power shielding the planet. Located just beyond Altered Earth, there is a planet of flesh and bone. No information is known about this realm, and Control has classified all information pertaining to the rescue operation of Samsonite, but has given the rescue operation the highest priority. You are the only team that is being sanctioned in order to venture to this planet and deactivate the node powering the shield around Altered Earth. You are to leave immediately on the Orfeo and travel through the Technogate, which will take you to deep space. Once there, you will it'll take you a 3-way journey using the Orfeo's experimental jump drive before you reach your destination. Any questions?
How experimental are we talking?
It's the same one that you used in order to get to
Okay.
in order to get to Alter Earth in the first time.
Yeah, I remember that part.
The Orfeo, it's our ship.
And he said that we didn't have any information on the planet of flesh and bone.
Yeah, at this time, we have only been able to discern its location, and we were able to get a small spy drone that was seemed to able to get one image to us before losing power.
Oof.
Which is the amount of power it took to get to that realm. And it took this long to get that snapshot.
What does he have a copy of it? What does it look like?
He displays on the screen a planet that, is just basically what looks like a big ball, but it looks flesh colored with some, white bone kind of laced throughout it, but it's a blurry picture as well.
Gross. Well, let's get ready.
The basic scans that kind of
that's...
come back and stuff like that kind of detail out that it's made of flesh and bone of some kind of organic alien material.
Gross.
I ain't never seen that shit.
Any other questions for the general? Otherwise, I think we just gotta get suited up.
Do we have any other similar dimensions that we can cross-reference to, prepare? Like, do we need full hazmat suits, full space suits, or did we get an atmospheric reading?
We did get an atmospheric reading. It does have oxygen. It is in the habitable quote-unquote zone around one of the local stars, N25, 25-4, whatever. I'm never going to repeat that. I didn't write it down. And
N25254?
Yeah, N25, yeah. And it does seem to have a habitable, but as far as suits and the like, I would take as many precautions as you like, and you're gonna have to locate and shut down whatever this power source is, so we don't even know what that is at this point, or what you're gonna have to do. So you're kind of flying in blind. You do have 3 weeks of preparation that you can kind of do to a certain degree, but at this point in time, we don't have much to go on as to what you will need immediately, but you can do any kind of immediate requisition that you need from Technogate, but you do need to leave within the hour.
Oh, so it's going to take us 3 weeks on the ship to get there.
Correct. Yep, you have to take multiple jumps in order to get there, and it takes some cooldown times. And
Yep. Explosives, yay or nay?
Explosives are totally fine. You might have to destroy a power source. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking rocket launcher might be good for that. Yeah, we'll head down to quartermaster, or I'll head down to the quartermaster and get set up and get some options, and we can get on our way.
I would like to requisition jetpacks.
Yeah.
The good kind.
Always good when we get to bust out the jetpacks. Right, Phaedra?
So excited.
Well, if that's all, dismissed.
All right.
So I'm heading to the quartermaster.
All right, so you arrive at the quartermaster. He's, behind the glass and stuff like that. That's all the protective shit, because, just in case you're going to try and shoot him and kill him for all the cool shit back there.
Yeah, how they do. Do I get the jetpacks from you, or are you just weapons? This
is weapons and all this is requisitions in general. So
okay, all right. We need I need 4 jetpacks. I need we use a laser cannon. Is that available, or was that?
You're talking about the X-32 laser rocket launcher? Well,
yes.
The laser launcher.
Yes, that sounds right.
Can I see your papers regarding the mission that you're going on?
Sure. Hopefully that part isn't classified out, and I give him whatever I have.
Yeah, you have like papers that'll let you what requisitions are allowed. And he kind of just looks at it and goes, "Yeah, so what do you need? Like 12 of these, 13? How many?"
Let's do 4. I assume that's how many fits in a case. So.
Okay. And goes back and grabs 4 suitcases.
I'm also going to grab a handful of grenades.
Goes back.
We'll say 6 of those if I can.
Standard grenades or photon grenades?
Difference?
Well, photon grenades generate an area field around them that's approximately 20 feet radius that will pretty much be vaporized by, like a photon blast. Regular grenades are shrapnel based.
Get both.
Yeah.
I'm standing there. Get both.
Let's keep our options open. We'll get 6 of each. Does that sound all right?
Fine with me.
Can we get like a way more than that?
No. You don't want to go. These things are heavy. You don't want to carry a ton of stuff. Believe me.
Well, they're going to be on a ship. We can bring them along on the ship and just have them on the ship.
All right. Let's make it a cool dozen of each.
Nice. All right. You want me just to ship that to the ship?
Yeah, if you could, and along with the X-32s and the jetpacks.
All right.
I'll deal with getting my own suit there. Anything else anybody can think of from the armory?
Does the ship have its own like dune buggy kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the ship's already got that.
And this planet is flesh. Did I understand that correctly?
Correct.
Yep.
So there's a chance that it itself is alive.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could say that maybe.
Do we have any type of like I don't know, neural dampener that in case this thing has some type of like powerful
Mind control
influence. Yeah.
Good call.
Absolutely. We can give you some. He goes back and kind of looks through the inventory list on one of the computer display terminals that has like a full list of all the stuff. Normally he just kind of enters into a couple of things, but he's kind of like searching through. He's got like this kind of crazy list of shit that's kind of coming up, and he's scrolling through it all, and he's like, oh, and he opens up a big window, and he's like, yep, that's it right there. And he pulls up the files for it, and you see like a little robot kind of come on over and drop off a suitcase, and he opens it up, and it's got 5 it would be, so there's 4 of you, so it'd be 8 like little round devices that go on your temples. These will completely negate any mind influence attempts that are being done on you, positive or negative.
Sounds good.
Is there any whitelisting capability on these?
Unfortunately, no.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, that's definitely better than nothing, in my opinion.
True.
Yeah, we always can choose to take them off. I'd rather not get controlled by a planet-sized hive mind.
It will count as an active item on you, so it'll give you that. As soon as you get 2, 4, 6, 8, you'll get +1s for every 2 points of items, quote unquote, magical item or advanced items that you have on you. Or active.
Well, it's nice to have our options open. We'll see what happens when we get there.
I know that you guys normally order shields. You want that standard requisition? We do have an advanced shield that it looks like you're qualified in order to requisition this time.
What's the stats on the advanced?
Advanced shield out of game will give you a 6 aggravated dice roll soak for pretty much anything.
I don't know, guys. Do you think we really need it?
Kinda.
Yeah,
I look back at the guy and I'm like, how many can we have?
I can requisition 4 of them to you. It's all that we got in stock currently. Hugh Division's working on making some more.
Yeah,
well, it's not like you can wear 2, so.
Not unless you're crazy.
Just negates the other shield. 0.
No, it actually ends up stacking against all odds. They just end up, you have 2 +6. It's a hell of a silk roll. Question: does that work with the big suit of armor, or is it?
Yes, it does.
Oh,
yeah, I forgot Malakai.
It will be 2. That's 2 items though, if you combine those 2 together.
Then the third would be the mind thing. That keeps me to mundane, but I'm okay with that. I don't cast a lot of magic while in combat. I do more shooting and throwing. We'll play it by ear as we go.
All right.
Like it.
Anything else that you guys would like?
Go head over to the lab, the progenitor section, and restock my lab. Pick up some embryos.
Okay.
What?
What?
You know
What?
what? I don't even want to know.
You don't know what we'll need, so I would rather, if we need a certain animal, I should just be able to grow it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Oh, also, did I give experience out last game? I don't think I did.
Nope.
So that's going to be a completion of a story and the chapter. So chapter will be 4 experience points, and I'm going to give you guys 5 experience points for the awesomeness of that story that you guys ran.
So 9 total?
9 total.
Up to 27.
Phaedra, I would highly suggest trying to get life 3, because that's what you're really looking for, I think.
I need.
You also might want to consider doing, instead of correspondence 3, doing life 3 instead.
Well, correspondence needed to do a lot of the things like severing limbs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Need life for if I want to like clone people, and that happens at 3. So I'm keeping my correspondence. I'm getting like next.
Okay, yep, no, makes sense. Makes sense. Good that you studied that up on that. I didn't study it at all. I just, but so I'll put a lot of faith into your power to a certain degree.
I got it.
What does a Ret 4 cost again?
Looking for that list right now.
8 times, I believe, what you're buying, right?
8 times 4. That's 32.
So wait, is it 7 times 3 for what I want then? If I'm trying to get another sphere?
Yeah, if you're trying to get a sphere to 3, then if it's not your primary sphere, which it sounds like correspondence is your primary sphere since it's the only one at 3.
So that's 21?
So that would be 21, yep.
I have exactly 21. I think I'm going to go for life right now.
There you go, nice.
3, switch that to 0. Yeah. I can clone people now.
All right, so anything else that you guys want to do before heading off into deep space?
I will say goodbye to my mother. You know, because I might not be coming back.
Okay, yep.
Bye, Mom.
Stay safe out there, and I hope that you find your father.
Do you? And I walk away.
Oh my god.
Such an asshole.
Ooh, drama. And I run back and I give her a hug.
Aww. She hugs you back. All right, so I'm going to take that as a sign that we don't have anything else specifically that we need to do. So you guys are going to jump onto the Orfeo here and jump over to that picture here of your nice little spaceship that you guys have that you use to jump around. And you'll be taking that through the Technogate here. So you guys kind of just like plow right through into the black hole that sends you through the great vortex of Insanity. No, into the other dimensional space travel that you guys have access to. And you guys are in warp basically at this point. So, let's actually go to the inside of the ship. So you guys have 3 weeks. You guys are going to be jumping in and out. We're going to start with day 1 here. So
You guys want to hear the chorus for the space shanty I wrote? Says Tycho.
Hit me
Is
up.
that even a question?
Yeah, hit me up.
All right. I gotta get the pipes ready.
I slowly take out my
Orfeo.
phone and start recording.
You interrupted me.
Sorry.
Orfeo, sail into the black. Orfeo, out beyond the night. Orfeo, we won't be coming back. Orfeo, until we find the light.
that's awesome.
You got a nice bass going there. Bass line, you know. That's
Yeah, that's the chorus. I'm not comfortable with singing the verses yet.
Do each of us have our own verse?
Yeah, eventually, maybe. Yeah, I suppose we could have.
Oh no, I didn't mean each of us sing our own verse. I meant, did you write a verse about each of us?
Oh, not yet. That's a good idea, though. Hadn't thought of it.
Well, if you need any, input into the workings of a great mind like mine for your verse, just let me know.
I will. And I go back to my brainstorming notebook about space shanties.
I want to work on integrating the shield into the suit. Unless if it's just like a module you just plug in.
Yep, you can kind of just strap it on, not a problem.
All right, I just want to make sure that that's good to any surprises. And then for the first, couple of days, I'm going to re-up my prime bullets, make sure that they're the aggravated. They do aggravated damage.
Yep, not a problem.
I'm assuming we can get back to full willpower with all the rest we're having.
Absolutely. Yep, you guys are fully re-energized.
All right. I will also take my 2 quintessence.
All right, so it sounds like you guys are going to mostly relax on day 1.
Would you like in a ret roll for the bullets?
No, I'll just give you that.
Okay. All right, so.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
I'm going to go and poke my head in to the lab and verify that the vampire is sleeping comfortably.
I was wondering if anybody was going to bring up the vampire.
So you're coming to visit me at my lab?
Yeah,
He's sleeping tight.
Excellent. But yeah.
Does the crew know about that?
Not as far as I know. No. Not unless you guys want them to.
Nope.
I would say not even her research assistants. I'm guessing she's got them like sanctioned off in some special room of her lab. Also, does it intrigue any of you that you guys are going to a planet made of flesh and bone, and you just saw your friend twice now turn into a giant monster of flesh and bone, but she doesn't have the ability to do that normally. Well, now she might actually, just with the spheres.
Yeah, I haven't put it together.
I'm hoping that it works out well for us.
I love that you guys trust me.
Yeah, maybe I'll even bring it up while I'm on my my visit. I'm just like, yeah. So, you think you can? It's pretty impressive. Can you control it?
Not yet. Working on it. Also, do you guys like cat?
Cat?
Like
The feline? Maybe I should go with the bat instead. I'm trying to think of I want a pet. Maybe a bat would work better.
Yeah, I like cats.
The sugar glazers are pretty sweet, but they're a handful to take care of. You got to take care of them. They can't really fly though, like a bat can. Ferrets are a lot of fun. On a ship, though,
probably
cat
go with bat, but the vocal cords are going to be very complicated.
Just stick some mouths on the side of its neck.
Tycho, I'm not doing that.
You know what?
What's your
Velociraptor. Make the Velociraptor.
No, because I'm going to use my pet for surveillance. I think a Velociraptor is a little bit more noticeable.
Make a tiny one. It's little tiny mouths on the side of its neck.
That would be cute.
I just like the idea of something that I can kill with a tennis racket opposed to needing a shotgun. In case.
Well, if you're going for surveillance, I would say like a hovering bird.
That's why I was thinking a bat.
Bats don't hover.
Owls got really good eyes. They also don't really hover though.
I'm imagining a hummingbird, but instead of a head with a beak, it's just an eyeball.
Gross.
That might work.
You guys are gross.
The makeup wouldn't work because, they have to constantly forage around for stuff or else they die. So maybe not a hummingbird.
Unless they're disposable. I don't know how hard it is to make them. But, if it lives for like 25 minutes.
Not really, like if I've got this body part and this body part, I put them together. That's all I need.
Well, it sounds like your options are open.
You do you, girl.
I do like the idea of a bat specifically because of the night. It makes, maybe do two, one for night surveillance, one for day surveillance.
I think I'll go with a gecko with bat wings grafted on.
Flying gecko?
Yeah. Oh, his name will be Insurance.
Be sweet if you throw a little chameleon in there, and like the wings when they fold up on the back of the gecko, they also can change color slightly to blend in.
I'll go to the lab and mess with some embryos. Thank you for the ideas. I think that's what I'll do for my first day.
I love and terrify our little chats we have together.
Remind me how much an ability is.
2 times what you're buying.
Okay. And spheres are 8, you said?
7, I think, and then Arate is
7.
8.
Yep. Okay.
And 5 if it's your primary sphere.
That'd be...
Do we get the discount for knowledges as mages?
I think you're
believe
citing
there
out
was-
of like 1st or 2nd edition. There's some
yeah,
stuff
probably,
about that. But I don't believe that there's anything 20th anniversary about that. I know there's stuff that used to be with library that you could do like skill bumping of knowledges and stuff like that up. Or something
Yeah,
like
just
that.
makes them.
But I don't think that they. I'll have to double check that. But I don't think
Yeah,
that
it might have just been libraries that made knowledges cheaper that I'm thinking of. But
I know that there was a mechanic behind that. But if you find it in the 20th anniversary, it totally will go with it. But as far as I remember, I'm not willing to look it up right now. So.
Well, neither am
I. There we go. All right. So anything else?
I've got a slightly large proposition that would basically be my full 3 weeks.
Ooh, I like.
I would like to go into a deep meditation
With
focusing on and fasting as well. Focusing on I think Robert's always been kind of a naive guy. That's why he has no subterfuge. He's just kind of always followed along and things have gone well. And I think it's finally dawning on him just how much deception there is in the world. And I think especially having been like betrayed by, the Technogate and all that, I think like this is his first real break after all that stuff. And after the big race and all that and everything that happened there. And I think I'd like to get 2 points in subterfuge and my 2nd sphere in entropy.
Yeah, absolutely. The 2-week period, what I'll say is that I'll let you get the 1 point in entropy right now.
Okay.
And I'll let you get 1 point in subterfuge right now. At the end of the 3 weeks, you'll have the next point in subterfuge.
Cool.
It's solid. I love your explanation.
We should make him practice lying to the crew.
just going up to me and asking me to tell him a lie.
No, man, he's lying to himself. That's what he's doing. He's deeply meditating and arguing with himself.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince myself of things.
Hey, that's my wheelhouse.
All right, so I think the first day sounds like everybody's kind of, making bullets. Phaedra is, I'm guessing, working on the vampire and checking in. All right, so do you openly want to talk about your disease with me, or do you want to go a little bit more private? I'm just wondering how much you want to divulge to everybody of what's going on.
I do not want to bring this up to the crew yet.
Yep, that makes sense.
Until it becomes a problem.
What about the players though, like Tycho and Robert and Malakai? Are you cool with them?
That's who I'm talking about. Out of game,
Okay.
I can talk to everyone, but in game, I do not want to tell anybody yet.
Okay.
Until I can relieve their worry a little bit.
Okay. So what are you specifically? Are you just trying to do a general research on the disease itself, or are you looking into the vampire more at this point?
I'm gonna do a mixture of both. I'm gonna start with my own blood sample. Hold on. I can do something called a gene scan, which will tell me my genetic code and basic stuff about a disease. I want to isolate it and figure out what exactly it's doing.
Okay. So at the beginning of this kind of research, now that you've got the vampire and stuff like that, what you can kind of tell at this point is that you definitely have the same disease that this guy has, and he's much more advanced than you. He still hasn't been consumed by the disease, and you don't know what would happen at that point, but he's definitely near that point. You can tell that this is some kind of symbiotic creature that is kind of melded into both of you. At this point in time, you're not able to really come up with a clear identifier on, you might be able to with blood samples, but you would really need like a full blood tissue, like a full analysis on a person, a deep scan in order. And then you also have to have the knowledge that you kind of have with vampires. And even then it's taken you some time, over the week that you've been looking into this, problem with yourself and having this vampire at your disposal. Because even before we got onto the spaceship, you guys had about a week of downtime. And so at this point in time, you kind of have an idea of, if you had a lot of time with a subject, you might be able to figure it out, but there's no way for you to get a quick scan on somebody to know whether or not they're infected with this disease or not, but it'll infect the living, the dead, the undead, and it is some kind of weird disease that transmutes mostly through blood. So the dead, it's very most likely not going to be too much of an issue, depending on how long they've been dead, quote unquote. But it is a blood disease.
Okay. Could I rig some type of dialysis machine to rid myself of this blood?
So that's kind of what the mad scientist doctor was working on. A machine was not something that he was able to come up with, but he came up with the idea of putting it into another person. And that's what he was trying to do with Robert.
Well,
he was trying to take it out of the vampire and put it into Robert.
True. Okay. That would probably be the simpler version, but we have machines that do something very similar for dialysis. Could just pump out your own blood, it cleans it, and then it puts it back in your body.
He wasn't able to find a way to clean it. He tried that, but he couldn't clean it. It just wouldn't clean. And the only way that he found was a very complicated procedure that basically infused it into another person. It was the only way that the organism, because it seems to have almost an amount of sentience, and it wouldn't let itself be cleaned completely, so it would just kind of like, continue to infect the rest. You'd clean some of your blood and it would just infect it when it got back into you. And you'd have to remove all of your blood from you all at once and then, clean it per se. And he wasn't going to do anything like that. So, and even that, he doesn't know if it would work. It might come back. But he did find that it was able to, as an entity, you could kind of move it to another person. Now, whether this would have worked or not is unknown. It's possible that both would have just become infected. And that's what happened every other time that he tried it. But he thought that he had gotten the next level, and he was right at that point. And all he needed to do was just try it out on one more test subject that was not infected with this disease.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just keep my software running for research and just put that on the back burner for a bit.
All right, cool. Let's see. So Malakai's making stuff. Phaedra was doing research. Robert's doing some deep meditation, fasting. Tycho, what are you up to for the night?
You mean for the 3 weeks?
No, just for day one.
I'll start looking through my dad's journal.
Oh, nice. Give me. Are you gonna do like quick paging through for a wits check, or are you gonna do a deep scan and read for an intelligence check?
Let's just do a wits check for now.
So at this point, I'm gonna do straight up wits. Unless you can, it may be academics, but even then, yeah, just as straight
Well,
wits, difficulty 4.
Let's go academics because I don't have any dots in that.
Okay, difficulty 4.
Three successes.
Sorry, 1 second here. Need to switch. There we go. Much better. Okay. So yes. 3 successes. You do quite quite a good read on this. And I'm sorry, this was a wits or an intelligence check?
This was wits.
Wits. Okay, so you do kind of like a paging through kind of some stuff, mainly looking for more information on, you know, this. Well, are you looking for more information on the shield, or are you just doing like a general search on your dad?
Yeah, insight into the shield and possibly even this planet, but I'm not expecting to find anything about this planet that we're going to.
So your dad does have information on, you know, regarding the shield. There is, you know, the 5 nodes, and there's a specific mechanical device that he designed in order to siphon the power to wherever you wanted to create the shield. And you don't necessarily need to use different realms and stuff like that. You can just use 5 nodes on, or 6 nodes on Earth, and, you know, any 6 nodes could power this thing, and then you would just have to destroy all 6 nodes once you get it up and running. But he did have specific devices, and so you see the forks are, you know, the original design for creating the shield itself, and where all the power kind of pours into to a certain degree. And then there's these little like blue cubes that have a energy, like basically they turn bright blue, but they're a mechanical kind of device that you can interact with. And it allows you to kind of take the power of a node and transfer it over to the shield itself. And it has a shutdown mechanism. So it wasn't, you know, on the same page as the forks were, but it has, like, you know, 5 pages down later, there's like a schematic of the cube, and it kind of explains the whole mechanic of turning it on and turning it off. And you know, it seems to be a pretty simple process that if you could find this cube, you could just shut off the node, transferring power to the shield.
Wow. Cool. I will digitally scan the relevant passages and put that in everybody's mission brief folder. And then quietly to myself in my quarters, I will say, "Father, what were you up to?" And then it cuts away because that's dramatic.
That's dramatic. All right, and actually, at this point, we're going to get to a little cliffhanger that I think we're going to take a little bit more breaks. We're going to try doing 3 breaks but I'm going to do like 5-minute breaks, 5-6 minute, just kind of little breathers for us. And then kind of try and divvy up episodes into maybe 3 1-hour long episodes. So before we go to our break here, as we still have a little bit of time before we get to an hour, we don't have to go too exact anyways though. But day 2, so you guys kind of all go to sleep, do do the things that you guys did that day, fall asleep, everything seems to be normal. The next day, the ship powers up for its next jump, and you go into hyperspace for things are going along not too bad. You usually stay in this for about a 12-hour period, and then you drop out and you do a 12-hour period where you're in normal space. So the first like 6 hours, just normal. It's all fine. You guys get breakfast, kind of relax, get ready for what your day is going to be, expecting it to be you're just jumping from one place to another. You're not going to have any problems, and it's deep space, so what the fuck are you going to encounter out here? And of course you fucking do encounter something, because 6 hours into your trip, you are ripped out of hyperspace. And you descend down onto a planet. As you guys scramble, I'm guessing whoever is scrambling to the bridge to try and figure out what the hell is going on here, as the ship is just starting to shake. And does anybody want to hit up any panels, or is anybody going to the bridge? What are you guys doing as the ship just gets ripped out of hyperspace and seems to be like shaking and falling out of the sky? Like you can feel the gravity of something beneath you.
I rush to put on the armor.
I'll run to the bridge, humming the song. What's going on?
All right, who's all going to the bridge?
I'm staying back to make sure that my guest doesn't wake up.
Yep, that's a good idea. So I believe we have Robert as Malakai. Did you say you were going to the bridge as well?
I am deep in meditation.
And I am actually going to put my armor on. I guess I'll go to the bridge after I have it on, if I fit. But yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to put my armor on in my quarters.
All right, cool. So Tycho, you arrive at the bridge first, and when you arrive, you see before you what looks to be, a night's. You're definitely in a night kind of like darkness that you can barely see anything, but there is like a rushing of wind and clouds around you that you can almost more feel than see. And you're rushing down towards the planet. All of the lights and everything are flickering on and off. Power seems to be going out around the entire ship. So every character is experiencing the flickering of lights, and all of the consoles are non-responsive to any interaction that you have. The captain looks over and says, "It appears that there's some kind of rogue planet that we've run into. There's nothing that we have on or had on scanners, and nothing that we were seemed to be approaching. This thing just came out of fucking nowhere. And some kind of magnetic interference is affecting all of our instruments. We can't get a reading on anything. All we know is that we're falling out of the sky."
Oh no.
I go to the cargo bay.
Malakai, actually, did you, you're going to the cargo bay without that information, or are you going to arrive at the bridge first?
No, as far as I'm concerned, we're under attack. I'm putting the armor on, and I'm going to the place where they're most likely going to try to breach. So the cargo bay.
All right, sounds
And
good.
then, we got radios. If I get updated information, I'll obviously change my plan. But
do the radios work?
The radios do not work. Oh, and I forgot. Sorry, Malakai. You get to your armor, and you get into it, and as soon as you try and do, or actually, you can tell it's not powered at all. There's no energy going to it whatsoever. It's completely powered down and flickering and malfunctioning.
Pulling out the prime scanner.
Prime scanner is fluctuating and freaking out as well. Everything that's advanced technology is completely going down the drain. In fact, some mundane technology, like you kind of look at your gun and it just seems to be like it's rusting and being weird. Like you're like, what the fuck?
Not the gun. These bastards are gonna die.
Start carving yourself a spear.
I draw and look at the combat knife. Is a piece of metal okay? Or I mean, it's shaped.
Combat knife is not a problem. Doesn't seem to be, and it's not like a quick rust or anything like that. Like the gun's just disappearing or something. But it's like you can tell that it's probably not going to function. There always seems to be a little bit of rust in the wrong spot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. In which case, I would go to the bridge without the armor to form up, and I'll bring everything with me, like the normal guns. But I don't have expectation that they'll work.
All right, and so I think we're gonna call it right there, and we will be back here for part 2 in about. We'll do a 5-minute break here.